Welcome to another concert review. I know I haven't been doing a lot of these, but I'm starting to save them for special occasions. I think it makes this a little bit more meaningful. And this one tonight, definitely a special occasion. Till Lindemann doing his first ever North American tour, and tonight he played in Toronto. A show that once I heard about it, I was excited about it, and then when I got invited to cover, I was over the moon. There's no way I was going to miss this performance. There was no way I was going to miss a chance to review this concert, and I was more than happy to drive to the local casino because that's exactly where he was performing. There's this big theater at the local casino here in Toronto, Mississauga, with a massive stage, really nice venue actually, and it kind of allows you to have some fun, have dinner there or play some slots, some games, and then obviously go watch a show. So I think it kind of brings a full spectrum of entertainment together in a single evening. And Till Lindemann playing there was a perfect reason for me to drive there and enjoy the festivities. Now, the evening included 3 bands in total. The first one, Aesthetic Perfection, a band that I had never heard of before. Kind of reminding me a little bit of Combi Christ in terms of that more industrial heavy sound. Also having some lighter songs, but overall getting that electronic heavy industrial sound. And I enjoyed it, and I wasn't alone. The people around me, everybody seemed to have a good time. A band that I feel like most of us attending the show tonight had never heard of or didn't know what kind of sound, what to expect. But I felt that the mood and the vibe around me, at least around me, was positive. Everybody enjoyed their performance, very animated on stage. A trio, but with tons of energy, and really putting forward a great set, a great show, taking time to interact with the audience, building the energy, and a great way to get the evening started without a shadow of a doubt. Next came Twin Temple, a band that we've covered on the channel, so at least from a soundscape or from a theme point of view, I knew what I was getting myself into, but I was wondering what those around me were going to think or say once they hit the stage and they start singing their songs. And considering Till Lindemann's content as far as the lyrics are concerned, I was kind of surprised that people were taking a little bit back by some of the lyrical themes of Twin Temple. I love it. I just think there's a certain shock value associated with it that I can really appreciate. We don't have as much of that in rock and roll these days as we used to back in the day. Their throwback rock and roll sound going all the way to the 60s is something that it resonates with me, that Buddy Holly sound, but with a more satanic and sexual experience, at least from a lyrical standpoint. I enjoy what they do, and I thought that their set could have been a little bit longer, man. It felt quite short to me because I was enjoying I was really into it. I was vibing with Twin Temple. But if they had to cut their set short, or if that set has to be a little bit shorter song-wise in order for them to have more time with the audience, I'm okay with that, because they did spend quite a bit of time talking with the audience, building up every single song, giving every single song its own room to breathe, expanding on some of the tracks as well, bringing the audience into the performance, allowing the audience to be part of the show. And from that standpoint, they really know what they're doing, and they had the audience by the end of the performance completely in it, even those that were a little bit more on the periphery because they felt a little bit jolted by the lyrics, by the topics, and maybe by the performance itself. And sound-wise, it's one of those bands that doesn't really connect sound-wise with either the band that came before or Till Lindemann that comes after. Maybe from a thematic standpoint, there's a little bit more of a connection, but from a sonic perspective, there isn't. And that also puts things a little bit in perspective in terms of the audience being a little bit more reserved. But they did a phenomenal job winning the crowd over, putting on a great show. I enjoy their set tremendously. Great set by Twin Temple. But everybody was there to see Till Lindemann. And what a performance. I feel that he understands that a show, a metal show, but any genre really, it's not just about going on stage and singing songs. It's about going on stage and creating much more than that. Creating memories, creating something that the audience can say, man, I've never seen that before. I've never witnessed something like this. Creating a spectacle almost. Obviously, there is shock value in it as well. more so from the images that are on the big screen playing behind the band. So I would not, I'm not saying that this show is not appropriate for the little ones, but definitely would raise some questions based on some of the stuff, some of the imagery that I saw there. I thought it was funny as hell. I enjoyed it. I knew what to expect from Till Lindemann, so nothing really shocked me. But I was still somewhat surprised with it, and it definitely added to the vibe. It added to the atmosphere of the show. And like I said, Till Lindemann understands that it's a lot more than just singing songs and playing songs. You have to create a more all-encompassing perspective of what a performance should be, and then deliver that to the audience. There's a sense of theatrics to what he does, and there's a sense of cinematic perspective to what he shows behind the band. So it's almost like there's three different perspectives to the entire show. There's what's happening in the screen behind the band, there's the band playing the songs, and then there's his own and the band members' personal theatrical performance that comes with it. This to me makes it a very rich evening and a very rich show, because it becomes very textured. It offers a lot. It offers a lot more than what you normally get. And if you look simply at the set list, he played all of his hits. I don't think there's a single song that he's released under Till Lindemann that you would say that it's missing on this set. I was actually surprised to see Heroes del Silencio cover, Entre Dos Tierras, part of the encore. What a phenomenal cover. I honestly feel like this cover is better than the original, especially because it's a lot heavier than the original. It still has some of the melancholy that the original had, but a lot heavier. And having that on the encore blew me away. Like, what a song. It was almost an exclamation mark as far as the encore is concerned. But before we got to the encore, we got to see everything that he has created in terms, like I said, of a set list that really showcases his biggest songs. So there's nothing there that you could say that would be missing. And the performance itself was great. You know, throwing fish into the crowd with one of those cannons that shoots t-shirts, but instead of t-shirts, he's shooting fish. Throwing cakes into the audience, and the audience loving it. I don't think there's anything that he could have done, regardless of how outlandish, that the audience would be taken back by it. They were literally eating the cake off of his hand. So it just goes to show you the magnetism that he has as a performer, as a singer, the image that he carries, and the band around him is super solid. Not only as musicians, but to be part of the theatrics of the show of what he delivers. And then he comes in the crowd being carried on shoulders, like on a what do you call that? On a throne, on a king's throne, and he's being carried through the crowd. I was this close to Till Lindemann tonight. That was phenomenal. Then he's just walking around the crowd singing with a GoPro, and you can see from his point of view what is happening. Such a great interactive performance. It felt to me that was a very humbling performance. He's probably used to playing in front of much larger crowds than what he played in front of today, but that didn't take anything away from what he gave us as an artist, and what the band gave us as an artist, and the show that they all given us as artists. So kudos to him, kudos to his crew, kudos to the bands that performed before him and those around him in his own band, because everybody extremely professional on the evening, obviously creating their own or displaying their own image in their own style, in their own sound, in their own way, but very professional in the way that they did it. And I got that feeling from him at the end of the show, that it's a very humbling experience for him, and he's very humble to be able to play these shows in front of these people that perhaps some of us had never seen him before. And like I said before, I don't know when I'm going to have a chance to see him again. I would go. And I think you guys, if he's playing in a city near you, you should go as well. The list of the tour dates is in the description of the video below. Like I said before, this is his first ever solo North American tour. On that alone is worth going. Plus everything else that I just mentioned, everything else that he delivers. Why not? What are you waiting for? Go grab some tickets, go see this guy. You're not gonna regret it, but go early because the other bands are not gonna disappoint you either. All right, so I'll see you all at the next video. Let me know in the comment section if you've gone to any of the shows that happened already, or if you're planning on going to some of the shows in the future, the rest of the tour dates. Let me know your thoughts on the set list, on everything. I'm dying to hear what you guys have to say for those of you that have been to one of his shows so far on this North American run, just to see if you guys had the same sort of experience as I had. Let me know, and I'll see you all at the next video. Take care, guys.